Hello, today I'm going to be going over Oberon here. For shards, I'm using 2 Equilibrium purple shards, 2 Tau Forged orange ability damage on radiation status shards, and 1 Tau Forged casting speed yellow shard. So for the first build here, this is a Roar Smite Nuke build. I've seen this before, very common after his rework. Got Universal Fallout and Battery for our energy economy, and then as well as Universal Fallout and his passive for survivability. If you don't know, basically all enemies will constantly be having 10 stacks radiation due to our max range and hallowed ground. So every enemy has a 60% chance to drop a universal orb, and those universal orbs do trigger your passive. So you basically will constantly have those 3 stacks of invulnerability up at all times. With battery, R4 gives us armor, so this will also give us a lot of energy. And yeah, besides that, we are going max range, high strength. I do not know the exact strength values, I just know this is above the amount of strength you need with 2 Tau Forged orange shards to do the one shot with 1 stack of viral and roar. It will also be matter eye dashing, so that will give us up to 278 strength as well. But yeah, that's basically it for this. If you're wondering why I'm in Simulacrum, it's because to actually properly show this off, I kind of need the tankier enemies, and it is very easier to show it off in mission or in the Simulacrum. I will be going to a mission later, though. For Argonac, the main thing is you just want to have this mod and this arcane, and that's actually for the second build. For this build, main thing is just have a epitaph with viral, or any sort of primer with viral, and then I also use a Doriga with Tazakor here that has viral on it, and radiation just to ensure the viral and radiation priming if I miss any enemies with my epitaph. Again, this is for the next build, but this is the wrecked Dark Dagger I am using. I used to use this dagger a lot because of the shield regen, however nowadays, because of his insane survivability, you can use whatever melee you want. And then, so this is the other build. Sort of similar. I'm using Smite infusion though, to get more damage on my dagger. We have Arcane Strike for the extra attack speed. A little bit lower range. If you want to go max range still, you can put this here. Neither of these really make too big of a difference. I find this a little better, just to get that little extra strength with Wrathful Advanced. But yeah, so to show off the mechanic in the Simulacrum here, basically you need to have your roar up, you need to have them primed with radiation, and then you need to make sure they have viral. And then when you cast it, as you will see, it doesn't do anything. So this is what makes it difficult, is because besides all of that, you also need to armor strip them. So by armor stripping them, a lot of times in missions, enemies aren't tanky enough, and just having them viral primed, all this primed, and then pressing your 4 will just kill them. But these guys are tanky enough to let they survive, so I can then do that to them. So when I bring this into a mission, you will see a lot of times when I'm pressing my 4, enemies will just die from the 4. However, as you can see, the main idea of this is for the prime there, and I don't have roar up. It's very finicky, as you can see. You gotta make sure everything is perfectly. You gotta make sure they're all viral prone, make sure they have the radiation statuses, make sure your roar is up, and then make sure you armor strip them. So it is very much a thing you gotta get used to. And as I said before his rework, I mainly used the other build. Don't get me shown off. So I am not used to doing all of that for it. Anyway, speaking of the going to a mission, let's do that now. Go to Circulus here. At the start here, like usual, I'm not going to have any energy, so I'm just going to use my dagger.
The Oregon Neural Sentry is attempting to purge you from this place. Stand by for life support.
Put down R2 first. Kill some enemies, get our energy up. That energy is maxed. Go R3. Then as you can see, oops. It does kill them, but Doesn't really show off the one-shot too well because they will be out that time before I just killed them. Where are these guys? Oh, these guys are armor stripped. Armor strip. Oh, and the armor strip killed him. So this is what I'm talking about, where it's like kind of hard to show it off because a lot of times when they are not tanky enough, the armor strip does just kill them. However, if you're thinking, you know, well, what does that matter? The idea is the armor strip just does flat damage. So, whereas the Smite does percentile damage. So the Smite technically does 100% of their damage, whereas these guys just aren't tanky enough, so they aren't surviving the flat damage that the Reckoning is doing. So obviously for just base Steel Path, as you can see, honestly just running around, spamming 2, spamming 4 is more than enough to kill enemies. But if you want to get that percentile damage in, do that percentile 100% nuke in an area at like higher levels, then yeah, you gotta go through the whole farming armor strip one to do it all. Let's see if I can get on these guys. It's armor strip. Half of them died. Some of them are at half health. And then some just don't take damage. And this is another thing I was saying. I've noticed a lot of times in missions, for some reason, some people just decide not to take damage. As you can see, none of these guys took damage. I believe if they're on the floor it is, they don't take damage sometimes. Oh nope, this guy just didn't even take damage from standing up. So I don't know what it is. Yeah. Does work very well as just one-shotting normal guys though, so if you want to just use it for that, you can. But yeah. Very finicky, sort of. Get that 100% nuke in an area, but it is very finicky, so up to you if you want to try it out. As you can see there, I don't really focus on the one nuking though. I kind of just run around, spam 1 and 4, and basically use both use a nuke, because I don't do anything too high level content, so that's good enough for me. As for the other build here, going to mission, as I said, this is the build I have actually used a lot, because before Oberon's rework in around 2024, I actually really liked Oberon and played him a lot, so this was the build I used for him.
Accept your death, and you may yet avoid it. Trust in your training.
And the idea of this is that you basically kind of just choose an area, put down your 2, and you just sit there for the mission. So this is very much an endless mission sort of build. Get our thing up. As you can see, you very much kill things very quickly. Wrathful Advance, melee influence on basically any build is nice. This is just also even better because you get this sort of nice, comforting area where you will not die, especially with this rework, and doing all this radiation damage, as you can see. We also just do not die due to his passive. And then again, like the other build, we do still have 4 and 1, so if you do want to still use them, you can. As you can see, because of that max range, our guys go, or our area reckoning, or not reckoning, whatever, this hallowed ground goes very far. So you can kind of still just run around with it. You go all the way over here, this whole area is still covered in it. And then over here it's done, so we just move past it. And yeah. Yeah, that's basically it for this build. It's a very basic melee build with them. Works very well, very fun. To be honest, I kind of like this build better than the one-shot Smite build. Or the one-shot Smite build is just a cool little percentile damage thing you can do with them. One thing to notice is we aren't actually doing too much damage, even though we are getting those consistent red crits. It is just mainly the melee influence and radiation going off that's keeping us doing a lot of the heavy work here. But yeah, that is it for Oberon. Thank you for watching.